will it be sustainable? And we had exactly, almost everybody said,
okay,
you've got to be crazy because Kenyans don't read, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And, a cliche like, the popular saying, if you hide money, nobody will ever find it.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, we knew that everything we see today has been created by someone who took the risk to do it. But it has to be a calculated risk. We knew we have to be part of changing that culture, non-reading culture, and be part of transforming our society to an extent that people will find it an adventure to pick a book and hide under the covers of the book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, that's interesting. And when we come back, actually, I would want to know, where do we start from changing that cliche? Because why so many people want to do educational books is because maybe they feel that if we do other types of books, we don't have a market. Yeah. So when you come back, I want us to discuss on that line, where do we start changing the mindset and people to start reading other kind of books?
Yes, and even before we get to watch the first video, maybe a challenge is how many people have personal libraries at home? Beginning with my co-host.
Me?
Yes.
I know I have a rank, but I can't tell how many books.
Okay.
I do it for the sake of my work.
Well and good.
Yeah, you
well
see, in this profession, you cannot avoid books, whether
That's
you like
for sure.
it or not.
Well, the only problem with me is that I have so many books, but how to organize them actually is quite a challenge.
Another challenge there to you, how many books in your shelves are from local authors?
Oh, okay. Let's first watch the first video of our segment, and we'll get to discuss this once we get back on set.
Yes, and send your SMSs to 244. Our guest on set will be more than glad to answer some of them. Keep it here.
Writing is one of the oldest forms of communication. It has proved to be the most efficient way of relaying information to the big mass. This may be in different form of languages so as to promote language sharing, and information hence remains the center of human existence in culture, language and beliefs shared among the human race. This interexistence between the human races has brought about the need to ensure that the message driven home is as accurate as possible, hence Word Alive Publishers Limited.
This is Word Alive Publishers, a leading trade publisher in Africa. Welcome. David Wawero, Managing Director, Word Alive Publishers Limited.
David Wawero is the CEO of Word Alive Publishers. The company is a Kenyan publishing organization established in 2001 to facilitate book publishing and sustainable literacy.
Word Alive began about 12 and a half years ago in Nairobi, and basically at that time we looked around and realized that most of the existing publishers were in educational publishing, and very few publishers who were taking care of the needs in the general market, which is what we call trade publishing.
The company publishes both fiction and non-fiction books intended to inform the public on different matters affecting it directly and indirectly.
When I was growing up, there used to be lots of coups and counter coups, coup d'etats across Africa. And so at any one time is which country, which president has been deposed or killed or something like that. And so lots of instability, and the rest of the world looked very, very different. That disturbed me. And my question was, how can I be part of the change? How can I be the change that I may wish to see in my own continent? And as a result of that, I thought, look, my teachers used to tell me that I'm a good writer. I mean, my essays, used to be poster kind of essays, where other students would be forced to cram. So I thought maybe I could use that to influence thoughts and to influence my own continent.
Supported by a sizable able staff that composes of linguistics translators and publishers across the country, World Alive has been working for the last 12 years to develop literacy in Kenya.
My dreams of wanting to influence Africa, my country and my continent, would probably come by way of me organizing a publishing house where I would have authors give a platform for writers, a platform for authors, for them to be able to communicate life-transforming ideas and engage the African society, to just recognize that we are not victims of history, we are not victims of our circumstances. We basically can rise above our circumstances and be as good as anybody else in the world.
The company's work is found mostly in geographical areas of Kenya and urban centers where information is the core of every living subject. The organization seeks to serve the community in Kenya by facilitating quality publishing.
If you read, for example, Hardy Boys, this is really the local context, the local equivalent of books like Hardy Boys. And we have a whole series containing 9 titles for upper primary school, and in some places, secondary schools also basically buy them. And recently developed the NLT Student Companion Bible, which was approved by KICD for teaching CRE in secondary schools. And it's a product that is packed with so much value, full color maps, sections on Bible promises for life, profiles of the key characters in the Bible. Then each book has line art illustrations. It has an introduction. It has a very, very deep concordance, over 120 pages, which is also a dictionary. So they don't need a dictionary when they're reading this. Then sections, there are other sections like miracles of Jesus and all that. So the schools are finding this so good, and teachers love it, for the teaching of CRE. We have, marriage books like Marriage and Relationships. People like John Masharia, Dr. John Masharia. And another one who is really, really good, Grace Kimathi, is a very good speaker on marriage issues and counselor as well. And so you can see what I was saying about giving a platform to people who have profound wisdom, experience and ideas. And here's another one. This is a very young person. He was the top student in KCSE in 2002. He went ahead to do medicine, got a first class honors, and this book is now being used in schools. And it just shows how to cultivate the right disciplines and mindset in life so that they can win in school, but also win in life. And this is why I'm saying ideas like this travel. Remember, books have no barriers at all. See, they don't know language, they don't know color, they don't have territorial boundaries. And whereas I can be with you right now, but a book, you can take it anywhere. I mean, under the blankets, you could always, under the cover of blankets, get to read your book.
Apart from books, Word Alive produces scripture-based reading materials which are then distributed to the communities they serve to form a body of previously non-existent literature in the area.
The ones that you see around here are basically those that are waiting to be delivered, packed and delivered. And we pack them, they're packed as the orders have come in. For example, this is what is going to be packed for delivery tomorrow morning, and for the rest of the week will be up there.